Um, all right, so I'll just start snipping these in. Do you know the format of the exams for this class yet?
Yeah, so she said that they're over Zoom and sorry, the tests are over Zoom on WebAssign and she said that they're open note. So and she said that if you navigate out of WebAssign, you'll be kicked out, but I don't really know I mean, I don't really think that's possible if it's not on lockdown browser. So,
Yeah, I've seen that where they just want you to open up WebAssign and do the exam
yeah.
through WebAssign, and I've also seen it where they do it through Canvas and they just give you a it's a traditional test. So okay, um, the are we doing these by hand or by calculator? Do you know if that matters to
I don't
instructor?
think it matters. She kind of taught it
Okay.
both ways in lecture.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just I mean because there's ways to do these where they just you do them very quickly, but they're not you don't learn anything, and then there's actually doing it by hand. So um, let me multiply the top equation by 12 and the bottom equation by 5 to get rid of the fractions. So on the left here, it's 36 over 4 with the negative out front, but you can divide first, and that's what I recommend. 4 divided by 12 is 3, so it becomes minus 9x. 12 divided by 3 is 4, plus 4y equals 5. And this one on the bottom here, x minus 5y equals 4. Then you have a choice to decide which variable you're going to get rid of. Whenever there's a 1, that's generally a good choice here. Elimination is really the only method that's worth doing. And you're right, this is from high school math. So if you multiply this equation by 9, you get 9x minus 45y equals 36. Bring the other equation down below. We're going to add them up. You see that cancels. Negative 41y equals 41. Y equals negative 1. That's a good start because it's a nice number. And then we can go back to either equation. We'll just go back to this x minus 5y equals 4. We'll put in y equals negative 1. So x minus 5 times negative 1 equals 4. You end up getting x plus 5 equals 4, or x equals minus 1. So your answer is minus 1 comma minus 1. I'm going to enter that in, and if there's an issue, I'll let you know about that. Um, anything look unfamiliar, I guess is probably the best way. Like, I'm sure you've seen that
No, yeah, no.
times. Okay. All right. There will be exceptions to this. So let's keep going here. So I'm going to snip in the next question. Okay. Find all solutions against same question again. You have a choice here for which variable to eliminate. Usually x is a good choice. So I need to turn this 3 into opposite of 6, so minus 6. So you're going to multiply the top by minus 2. That's minus 6x plus 8y equals minus 10. And then below you get 6x minus 8y equals 10. When you add these together, you get 0 equals 0. And this means that there are infinite solutions. It also means that it's dependent. So it says if the system is dependent, and that's what you have here, express your answers in terms of x, where y equals y of x. So this can be a little confusing here, but what it means is x is the first answer, and then you have to solve one of these equations for y because it's dependent. So I'll just choose the top one there. 3x minus 4y equals 5. I'm going to solve for y. I'm going to move the y to the right side, the 5 to the left side. So it's 3x minus 5 equals 4y. And then divide by 4. So y equals 3x minus 5 over 4. So this is your answer, 3x minus 5 over 4. You'll definitely want to, make sure you're comfortable entering these answers into WebAssign so that when you get to the test, you know what to do.
Okay.
All right, number three. Number three is going to be the other kind of exception. So we're using elimination again. I'm going to get rid of the x, just a preference I have. I'm going to multiply the top equation by minus 3. So that's minus 9x plus 6y equals minus 6. 9x minus 6y equals 5. When you add it up, this time you get 0 equals negative 1. The way I just, it says 0 equals a number, but the number is not 0. This means that there is no solution. So those are the two exceptions you're going to see in the first three problems. The first problem had a nice solution. Great. Very happy. Second one was dependent because you got 0 equals 0. You have to have that in your notes. And then the last one is 0 equals a number, no solution. So I'm going to enter that into WebAssign.
So you just put no solution?
Just write, you literally write no solution, all caps. I mean, seen them not give credit for that because of typing it wrong. So there's always that. So now that we've gone through that question, they're giving you variations on it. Like the first one had a bunch of fractions. This next question that I'm snipping in right now, it has decimals. So we're just going to eliminate the decimals. And to do that, you're going to multiply everything by 10. So you get 3x plus 44y equals 10. 15x plus 12y equals 20. You got to make sure you multiply everything. It's very easy to just not multiply one. So I always check before I keep going here. 12 doesn't really go into 44, but 3 does go into 15. So it's another case. Okay, let's get rid of x because I can make that into a minus 15. The numbers do get big here. So this is one of those where you're like, well, maybe I should use a calculator. If you're going to use a calculator, you wouldn't even do this. You would just set up a matrix system, and you would just use RREF or use the inverse. And I can show you that if you'd like. But oh, this doesn't really work out nicely, does it? Did I make a mistake? Oh, I didn't even, okay. So all solutions should be accurate to a decimal place. So this is an example of where you would either graph it for sure or use a, like your calculator. So I'm just going to enter it into a calculator to get the answer. Because it does say to round, that means that it's not exact. And you can use Desmos, you can use your TI-83. So it ends up being that x equals 1.2 and y equals 0.1. I don't know why they even.
Did you just find where they intersected?
Yes, exactly. And it's the one decimal place.
Oh, also, there's a setting on my calculator when I reset it and it went away. How do I, when you go to the table, like second table, how do I change it to like ask?
Okay, so I thought you were going to say there is, if you go to, there's a second table options. I think it's F5. There's a toggle to ask. Let's see if I can find it online.
Because my math teacher last semester had us do it, and then literally right when I started the final, I accidentally reset my calculator.
Second, and then it's window, the table set. Nope, I'm sorry, that's not it. Second table. Nope. Okay, so it is second table setup, second F2, and then you change the dependent variable to ask. I'm sorry,
Oh, there we go.
you change the independent variable to ask, sorry.
Okay.
And then when you go to your table,
Oh yeah, that's
you can
better.
put a number and it'll give you the output
Okay.
for that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. So the rest of this assignment is word problems or story problems. And what you're going to do in each of these problems is you're going to set up the system and then solve it. So for these, think I'm going to emphasize how to do it with a calculator after we set up the equation. Um, and you should expect to see this on your test, like these types of questions. So doesn't. Okay, so you manage an ice cream factory that makes 2 flavors, vanilla and mocha. Into each quart of vanilla go 2 eggs and 3 cups of cream. Into each quart of mocha, 1 egg and 3 cups of cream. You have 400 eggs and 750 cups of cream. So there's an equation for eggs and an
Okay.
equation for cream. The mistake is to make the equation for vanilla
And
and
mocha.
then mocha. The thing they're giving you tells you this. So there's 2 eggs for vanilla and 1 egg for mocha equals 400. There's 3 cups of cream for I'm sorry, these are, I'm sorry, the eggs are here, the cream is here. No, that's not right. Let me just finish this. And then there's 3 cups of cream in that. So this is the egg equation, this is the vanilla, and this is the mocha.
Okay.
So if you've got your calculator, to me the best way to do this is to go, let's see here, math, nope. We want to get this into a matrix. So second matrix, yeah. Because I assume you're going to have a calculator. Second matrix, and then you want to go to edit, and you want to set the size of the matrix first. So the size here is going to be 2 rows and 3 columns. So your matrix will look like this when you enter your data in there: 2, 1, 400, 3, 3, 750.
Wait, so second matrix, edit, and
And
then
then you first have to set the size. In the top right, it should say number, cross number, number times number.
no, I'm just getting like um I'm just getting like A, B, C, D, like
Go over to edit
it
to the
goes,
right.
yeah, it goes down from 1 to 7 and then A, B, C, D,
Yeah,
E.
so hit enter on number 1 for A,
Okay.
and then it'll say matrix A, and then it'll
3
say,
times 3.
yeah, and then change that to 2 times 3, and then you got to go in and edit the numbers.
Okay. Okay.
So once you've done that, you want to quit out of that, second quit. The my preference is to use RREF. That's under math, I think. No, God, I haven't done this in so long on a calculator. Okay, so it's under second list. No, it's not there. Where is RREF? Math. Let me search the web because I actually don't remember where RREF is in your calculator. Matrix, it says. Matrix math. Okay, so you're going to go second matrix math, and then you go down to number letter B, and that says RREF, and you hit enter.
Okay. Mhm.
And then you want to grab the matrix. So to grab the matrix, you go second matrix, and under names, you grab the matrix A and hit enter. So it'll look something like this when you're done. And in this problem, you get 1, 0, 150, 0, 1,
0, 1,
100.
100.
And that tells you the answers on the right. It says that the X is 150, whatever that is, and Y is 100, whatever that is. Your calculator does not know, which is for vanilla and which is for mocha. But the way we've set it up is 100 is for X and 150 is for Y, vanilla and mocha. The homeworks give you, two options or give you multiple options, but you just want to be careful on a test. Make sure it's actually the right numbers.
Okay.
And actually, I entered them incorrectly. Unbelievable. Okay. It's that easy to do. All right, let's look at number 6. Number 6 is the same. It's going to require us to create the equations, and then we'll put them into the calculator. All right, so in this problem, it says Gerber's products Gerber mixed cereal for baby count contains in each serving 60 calories and 11 grams of carbohydrates. Mango contains 80 calories and 21 grams. If you want to provide your child with 340 calories and 75 grams of carbohydrates, how much of each serving should you use? So again, that gives you an indicator. We've got a calories equation and a carbs equation. So in the first one, it's 60 calories for Gerber. Well, they're both Gerber. Mixed cereal. And then 80 calories for the tropical. And that has to equal 340. Then there's 11 grams for the mixed and 75 grams for the tropical, and that has to equal, I'm sorry, it's 21 grams, and that has to equal 75.
Do you have to do it in that matrix thing?
That's the best way to do it, yes.
Like you don't suggest just graphing them and seeing the intersection point?
You can do that. That will work. You have to change your window on this one. So it's both work. I wouldn't tell you to graph them, but it does work. So I don't
Okay.
want to be
Okay.
I'm not trying to be difficult or anything. It's the so let me know when you get your answers. This is a good time for you to try this out on your own.
So is it still two times 3?
It is still 2 rows, yeah, because your matrix will be 60, 80, and 340, 11, 21, and 75. It's just the coefficients.
Then it's not second list to get to the reef.
RREF. It's under matrix, and it's under math. So everything you do in these is going to be under matrix. I was leading you astray initially. It's all the way down letter B.
Okay. There we go. Okay. I got 3 and 2.
That's correct. All right, 3 and 2. All right, so up to question 7. Snipping that in now. All right, go ahead and I was going to suggest that you do this on your own, but I think this one's slightly different. 5, 2, just to have it supply only 1/2 of the RDA for protein. Okay, this one, the numbers are here and here for the right-hand side, but this 1/2 means that this is going to change to 30. So see if you can set up those equations on your own, and I'll check them for you here shortly.
Okay. So it's going to be 30 instead of protein instead of 60.
Yeah, because it says 1/2 of the RDA for protein.
I got 5x plus 2y equals 30 and 21x plus 11y equals 139.
Okay, so try to get that into your calculator. I'll do the same thing to check the answers.
Four and 5.
That's what I got as well.
Mhm.
All right, so it says, is it possible to have my meal supply the same amount of protein as in part A, but only 113 grams of carbohydrates? So the change is to make 139 into 113. So you just have to change that number here.
So just make that one change. Okay.
I think what will happen, if I'm guessing here, is that we're going to get an answer that's not possible, like it's going to have a negative number in it.
Um, yeah, I got 8 and -5.
That's right. You get x equals 8, y equals -5, and that's impossible. So that's what part B is trying to get you to see, is that with that number, it can't work. All right, we'll move to number 8. An appropriations bill passes the U.S. House of Representatives with 73 more members voting in favor than against. If all members of the House voted for or against the bill, how many voted in favor and how many voted against? Okay, so we know that the votes together, favor and not, have to be 435 because everyone voted. We also know that if you subtract the favor and the not in favor, that's 73, because that's what the sentence means here.
Oh, okay.
So this is an example of one. I mean, I don't even know if we want to set this up, but you can just add these up together. 2x equals 508, x equals 254, and then y equals, um, excuse me, 181. The thing though about this question
Yeah.
is you really almost could just guess and check until you got the right number. Setting
Right.
up a system here is a little bit unnecessary, but
Hmm.
um, that's what they ask you to do. So we are do it through. Um, doesn't look like your instructor gives you the extra credit for submitting it early.
Yeah.
Some instructors do that in this class. It's kind of nice. Um, okay, number nine. Number nine. We're definitely going to get through this assignment. The last few are actually they're just single answers, and we can discuss them if needed. But a couple more of these. So the U.S. Senate has 100 members, and for a bill to pass the supermajority, at least twice as many senators must vote in favor of the bill as against it. Um, how many must vote in favor for it to pass with a supermajority? Um, so the it's kind of the same thing. It's like x plus y has to equal 100, and then x minus y has to equal, and then or I'm sorry, this is a relationship one. So they're saying that x has to equal 2y because the twice as many
Okay.
senators.
Got it.
It's kind of a weird thing. I mean, we can
You
solve this,
substitute.
but it's that you need 67, because that means that there's 33, and when you double 33, you get 66, which is you need to have um, at least one more, because if you go 66, that means there's 34. 34 double is 68, which is not enough. So I mean, the answer is 67. Which you can get by taking this and putting it in here for x.
Hmm.
3y equals 100. You get y equals 33.3 repeating. So x equals 66.6 repeating, and you round it up to 67.
Okay. Got it.
All right, 10, 11, 12 are all word problems. So we're going to keep going here. Um, 10, 10, 10, 10 here. Okay. The demand and supply functions for your college newspaper are given. Q equals minus 11,000 P plus 4,900, and Q equals 3,000 P plus 700, where P is the price. And basically, this is actually asking where is the intersection of these. So this would be one that you could graph. You could set it up as a system, and I'll show you how to do that. This one, I can't tell how big the numbers get, but whenever I see like a 4,900, that means you got to go pretty high on your axes.
Hmm.
And the other one is Q equals 3,000 P plus 700. One of the challenges here is that P is the equivalent of X, and Q is the equivalent of Y.
Yeah.
And like if you're in high school, we would say, well, just switch the variables, but you should know that P comes before. Well, did I just say that right? Does P come before Q? I think it does. Okay.
Maybe.
Side note here. So it's move the P over. So it's 11,000 P plus 1Q equals 4,900. And then if you do the same thing here, it's minus 3,000 P plus 1Q equals 700. And this is the system, the matrix that you can set up if you want to solve it this way. You can also graph it. Any of those.
I just graphed it,
What
and it
what did
says
you get?
the intersection says it's 0.3, 1600. I don't think that.
It might be 0.3 would be 30 cents.
Okay.
Let me just check it on my side. Yeah, so I got 30 cents. So let me try it. Okay, that's correct. So we get P equals 0.3 and Q was, I guess, 1600. All right, great. Number 11. Have you noticed instructors doing a better job this semester with Zooms and
Yeah.
classes?
Yeah, it seems. I think also my instructors are just way better this semester too.
Yeah, I'm seeing more instructors say things like, "Well, I'm not going to post the video, so you better show up to the Zoom."
Yeah, my teachers I did that last semester, but a lot of classes I had last semester were like those huge, like 400 people lectures, and now my classes seem to be a little bit smaller, which is nice.
Good. All right, so in June 2001, the retail price of a 25 kilogram bag of cornmeal was $8, and the price in December had risen to $11. One seller reported a drop in sales from 15 bags per day to 3 bags per day. Assuming that the retailer is prepared to sell 5 bags per day at $8 and 17 bags per day at $11, find the linear demand and supply equations, then compute the retailer's equilibrium price. Okay. Okay, so the bags per day fell $3. Okay. Okay, so these are Q as a function of price. So we know that like we have data points here. So there's price is the X. So when it was $8, the quantity was 15, and then when the price went to $11, the quantity was 3. So we can use these to find the equation of the line. So the slope is 3 minus 15 over 11 minus 8, which is minus 12 over 3, which is minus 4. So then we can write y minus y1 equals your slope, x minus x1. And in this case, I guess I'll just choose the first data point. So it's y minus 15 equals minus 4x minus 8. Now remember, x is really p, and y is really q. We'll get to that, but that's for the first set of information. Then it says the retailer price is prepared to sell 5 bags per day at $8 and 17 bags per day at $11. That's, again, it's the price is 8, and then the quantity is 5, and then $11, and then the quantity is 17. So we'll do the same thing here. We'll find the slope of this equation. That's 17 minus 5 over 11 minus 8, 12 over 3, which equals 4. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll go y minus 5 equals 4 times x minus 8. So it looks complicated, but it's just because you have to write the equations this time. They don't just give them to you. And you're just solving these two equations, or you can find the intersection of them. So let's do this. Let's write y equals 4x minus 32 plus 5. And over here it's y equals minus 4x plus 32 plus 15. And we can set these equal to each other now. So you get 4x minus 32 plus 5 equals minus 4x plus 32 plus 15. I'll move the 4x, negative 4x over here, so you get 8x. This is minus 27. So if I add it over here, you get 84. I think it's 84. And then x equals 10.5 for your equilibrium quantity. So I'm going to enter that, and hopefully, I'm sorry, your price, not your quantity, your equilibrium price. We'll submit the answer to that. Waiting for WebAssign here. Did not like that. Interesting. Maybe I got the X and Y wrong. I'm just looking to see what I missed here. 15 bags to 3 bags. 8.15. 11.3. $8. 5. $11. 7. 12. 3. 4. Minus 12. 3 minus 4. X minus 8. Y minus 5. X minus 8. Minus 27 plus 27. 30, 42. Oh, 74. Maybe it's 74. 74 divided by 8. Does that seem right? Sorry, I'm just trying to get caught up here. I may have just solved it incorrectly. I'm going to try one more answer, that last step there, and then I'll go to a calculator if I need to. There it is. Okay, so this should have been 74, and then this becomes 9.25. So even I often make mistakes, especially when I don't use a calculator to check my work. So definitely want to do that as well.
Okay.
All right, so we're kind of still doing the same things where we're writing the equation, we're setting up some sort of system or solving something, 2 equations, 2 unknowns. Let's see here. So it says there were 35,000 hardback copies of a certain novel sold before the paperback version was issued. From the time the first paperback copy was sold until the last copy of the novel was sold, 9 times as many paperback copies as hardback copies were sold. If a total of 448,000 copies of the novel were sold in all, how many paperback copies were sold? Okay. So we're going to call the paperbacks X. I'm sorry, the hardbacks X, and the paperbacks Y. So know that X plus Y equals 448,000, because that's what it says here. It says if a total of were sold, how many were sold? A total of both types of books there. From the time the first paperback copy was sold until the last copy of the novel was sold. So that means the last, so we know that for 448,000 minus 35,000, which is 413,000, we know that there's a ratio of 9 times as many paperback copies as hardback copies. So we know that for every one hardback copy, there were 9 paperback copies. If that's not clear, I can try again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so we've
But
got.
where do you put the 35,000?
Well, that was the point of this subtraction here. Is that like this relationship only hold for the last 413,000 books that were sold.
Okay, got it.
But the total of them is this. It's weird. I mean, I kind of like it because it's very confusing, but it's I mean, just imagine if you're an international student, you're learning English, this would not make any sense.
Hmm.
Um, but so this is your system. And again, once you get down to your system, it's pretty straightforward. You just solve it the way we talked about. The only thing that might be an issue is if you get a weird answer. That means that you want to check your equations. You want to check, did you enter it correctly into the calculator? All of these are possible and normal, especially in a test. This is not right because this doesn't give us the right answer here. So 9 times as many paperback copies as hardback copies. So what that means is that y equals 9x. Maybe that is it. Oh boy. Hmm. So I'm going to just write the answer that I think is correct here. And I want you can use this if you want, but I think it's worth getting some clarity from your instructor on this or checking Chegg. I want to make sure we get through all the questions
Okay.
in this lesson. So I apologize for not giving you more detail on that one. Written very oddly. Okay. Okay, if the addition or subtraction of two linear equations results in the equation 40 equals 40. So this is equivalent to 0 equals 0. That means that there are infinite solutions, that they're dependent, in other words.
Hmm.
So it's not just that it's 0 equals 0, it's that the same number equals the same number. That's what this says here. So in the drop down, which you can't see, but it says, the options are equal, perpendicular, or parallel, or none of the above. So dependent means that they are equal. That means they're right on top of each other.
Okay.
14 says, 14 says, if adding two linear equations, let me get it snipped in here, it's not quite the same. If adding two linear equations gives x equals 12 and subtracting them gives y equals 12. Okay, so for that means that like when you add them, like you solve for x and you solve for y. So there's a point where they intersect. And the drop downs this time are the same: equal, parallel, perpendicular, not parallel. Let me try to find an example of this. So x x minus y equals 24. X plus y equals 0. So if you add them, you get x equals 12. And if you subtract them, minus y, we can change the order. This is very odd. So I was just coming up with this. I don't think this is quite right, because when you subtract them, you get negative 2y equals 24. So you don't get that. So there's some other, maybe this is 0 and this is 24. Yeah, that might do it. So when you add these, you get 2x equals 24, so x equals 12 when you add them. When you subtract, you get minus y minus a y, so you get minus 2y equals 0 minus 24 minus 24, so you get y equals 12. X minus x goes away. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if I solve this first equation for y, I get y equals x, or y equals 1x. If I solve the second equation for y, I get y equals minus x plus 24. And the slopes here, you can see that the slopes are perpendicular. And that's one of the options there, that they're perpendicular.
Oh, good.
I guess, oh, actually you're the, interesting. They're not perpendicular according to this. So there's a drop down. I'll let you figure out. You get 20 submissions. I mean, you'll get it here. But maybe ask your instructor if they expect to see this. This is one of those you definitely want to get on down in your notes, because it's one of those things that's so easy to get right that you want to make sure you get points there on that. Okay, so that's the end of our scheduled lesson. If you need this time next Sunday, just send me a note and I'll add that time. I usually don't. I take this time off, but I'm happy to add it for you. I'll send you the notes out and the screen recording here shortly.
All right, thank you so much. I'll let you know. I honestly, next week I might schedule on a different day, but I'll let you know what I end up doing.
Sounds good. Have a great day.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
You too.